Hello everyone, this is Panda. So let's do an assessment on Amazon utility foldable wagons. I'm going to give you guys a breakdown why you should be careful and which one you should buy on Amazon. So disclaimer, I am not a Amazon spokesman. Amazon did not pay me to do this video, or TMZ. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you do click on the links, I do get a little bit of kickback. So please do subscribe, like, and share if you enjoyed this video about assessment on wagons on Amazon. Please listen. I'm a panda photographer. I'm a homeless photographer, travel photographer, documentarian. I've been using these type of wagons for a couple of years now. So with that said, here are my assessments. First and foremost, let's talk about the framework. The framework is important. The stronger the framework, the better. If it has features where you can lock in and fold it, that's better. Like this wagon, TMZ. Now, disclaimer, TMZ did send me a free wagon before because we have problems in the back frame, and I'm going to talk about the structure on the back frame here. And you guys are going to say, well, isn't that the front? And let me explain a little bit later. Let's talk about the structure of the frame. When you buy a wagon on Amazon, you want something that's going to last. I know you spend about almost $100 on these wagons. Some of you spend less than $70 on the cheaper wagons because they come with the cheaper plastic wheels. And I'm also going to talk about that in just a few minutes. But I just wanted to do a quick assessment of why you should be careful and get your money's worth on Amazon. So when I started using these wagons, I started with the Ozone Trail Park wagon that was terrible. It's on this YouTube channel. The plastic wheels was gone within 3 days. They were not suitable for real-life concrete outdoor all-terrain use. They market it as all-terrain. That's the problem on Amazon. They are not all-terrain. Now, these wheels here are all-terrain because these are real rubber tires. And when I do my assessment and when I buy a product on Amazon, I look for an item that has real rubber tires. Now, I went through all of them, mostly, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of them that do not have rubber tires, that look like rubber tires, but it's just a soft foam of those tires. And when it gets wet, it gets squishy, it gets soft, it makes it harder to push. So, disclaimer, I'm not trying to badmouth any brands or sellers on Amazon, but you have to do a better assessment. So, with that said, I recommend going with one of these wagons with the handle that slides up and down. Not only that, it also has a handlebar if you want to extend this up and mount a basket on it, or it comes with a basket. Now, these type model, these types of folding utility wagons cost about $169 to $200 and up. So keep that in mind. Depends on the tires and the quality. So with that said, everyone, now, let's talk about the other part, the structure in the back. Now, some of you like to pull it towards you. And I'm going to explain all of this in detail why you're making that mistake. Don't push it towards you or don't pull it. You want to push it from you. Why? You have better control where you go. Not only that, you can see right before you get on a sidewalk or a sidewalk embankment where you're about to see where you're about to land or roll over, because the streets are not really paved that well. And when you pull it towards you and you're running on unbalanced terrain, you're causing friction and damage to that column, that center in here in the housing. Let me explain why you guys make this big mistake when you buy a wagon and you pull shit towards you. You should be pushing it from you, like I'm doing right now. First and foremost, I want you to see what I did. Inside, I actually put a nail, or bolt, actually, inside the column. Why? Because the columns are made out of some really not so great material. They're not strong enough. So I put the bolt inside and then pour crazy glue inside the bolt. Why did I do that? Because to give it strength. When you're pushing it towards you on these sideways, see those little embankments, you indent, you're causing stress on those bolts. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, if you have one of those cheap wagons with the plastic wheels, you're not gonna last no more than 3 months. if you continue to do that. So I recommend pushing it towards you. I mean, push it, not push it towards you, push it from you by pushing it ahead. That's what I recommend. But as I was saying before, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a good idea to push it or pull it this way. It's not, because when you hit the ground, think about it, what happens? It goes up and down those sidewalks and these unterrained sidewalks and streets and gravel. But with that said, I just want to make an assessment on why you should be very, very careful on buying the wagon of your choice. Now, this wagon can hold up to 220 pounds. I have about 180, 170 pounds on the wagon, as you can see. And I just want to give customers, the consumer, the benefit of the doubt why you should literally look and do your research about which wagon that you want. Now, just talking about tires. Tires, on the other hand, you must understand why tires are important on wagons. They make the experience so much better. It's a much smoother ride and a much better pull, so you are not stressing out pushing the wagon, because you know some of these plastic wheels and some of these foam wheels they are out there that look like rubber tires, but they're really not. When they get wet, you're gonna have a difficult time pulling it and pushing it. I know this from experience. I have videos showing you guys why you shouldn't buy those wheels. I have a video, which I'm gonna link it right here in the 6-minute and 50 marker, where the wagon wheels, the foam wheels, were just wet to a point when if I stand on it, the water literally came out of it. It made the experience so bad. So with that said, everyone, this is just an Amazon video, an Amazon wagon experience assessment video. So with that said, if you are thinking about buying a wagon on Amazon, you probably want to buy a really good one with better tires, better suspension, better overall frame design, because some of these other wagons do not have a flawless frame design on the bottom. Sometimes it's just a 2-piece and sometimes it's just a 1-piece. Let me show you how this wagon design is. So underneath, as you can see, this one is a 2-piece with 4 columns. And as you can see, I got an LED light there for nighttime. And it's important that you look at the soldering on the wagon. If it's pretty not so good soldering, you may want to take it to get resoldered just for the future, because sometimes these wagons, the soldering is not that great. For instance, I'm going to show you a little defect, and I believe it's on this side. Right there, did you see that little dent? I'm going to show you in the sun. You see that one spot right there? Yeah. And that's why you have to do an assessment. Now, you guys are probably saying, well, you're nitpicking. No, guys, when it rains, if you use this in the rain, rust does form. Rust, guys, I had 4 of these already within the past 2 years. I'm going to say this right now. If you use this a lot in snow and rain, rust will form and rust will break down the wagon. And the first part that does break down is the back. This whole back piece will break. That will always be the first piece to break on this wagon. Why? Because some of the soldering wasn't done so neatly and so cleanly and not ideal. And this is the weakest part in the wagon. This is why I recommend it to not pull it, push it. Push it. It's a better control overall. But with that said, everyone, this is just my assessment. I'm the Panda Photographer. I'm a homeless photographer and documentarian, filmmaker, YouTuber. But I'm also part of the Amazon community. And I know someone on Amazon, or someone is thinking about buying one of these wagons on Amazon. For instance, where's a video out there that someone did a sort of good example of an assessment on these wagons. And I'm the perfect fit because I can prove every other transaction in conversations with the brand TMZ that did send out a replacement wagon for free, and explain to them why they should do a better job soldering the back end. And to also use real rubber tires, because at one point they did use real rubber tires, and then they went with the cheaper foam material to save costs. I get it, but ideally it's not a good wheel. Plastic wheels or those foam wheels are not ideal. Now, it depends on how much weight you're carrying. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to the wheel assessment, and let me give you an idea. If you're using 50, 60 pounds, I recommend using the foam wheels because, yeah. But if you're using something over 100 pounds and you put it in the wagon, I do not recommend it. It's the weight that squishes those wheels down. This is why I also recommend doing your research and looking at the product itself. They have pictures. Look at the descriptions. Make sure you have everything in detail, which wagon you want to buy on an Amazon. So with that said, everyone, this is shot in 4K. I will hopefully 4K 60. So with that said, everyone, hopefully this would be a good assessment on what wagon to buy. This is a TMZ brand wagon. Normally these cost about $160, $180, but I waited to a certain point of time when I got it for $130. So with that said, everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. You guys want to support the channel, all the links to buy one of these wagons are down in the descriptions below. But with that said, you guys have a good one. Cheers.